things are tough in these different environments with different things happening. Maybe because of the layoffs, your workload has raised and increased because of everything around you, teams being let go. So how do you deal with that? You might have someone who can help you manage that. Hello and welcome to the Pybites Podcast, where we talk about Python, career, and mindset. We're your hosts. I'm Julian Sequeira.
And I am Bob Beldebos. If you're looking to improve your Python, your career, and learn the mindset for success, this is the podcast for you. Let's get started.
Welcome back to another Pybites Podcast episode. This is Julian. I'm here with Bob. How's it going, man?
Hi, everybody. Bob here. Cool. Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. It's late in the evening, but I'm pumped. Still pumped. I got my Pybites shirt for all the YouTubers watching this. Thank you. And I have my Pybites, this giant flask of a Pybites mug. It's the biggest coffee cup we have in the house. I've got a nice tea for all our...
My protein shake, not affiliated. We're just laughing that this should actually...
maybe should have a Pybites logo on those things. Yeah, that'd be good.
It's a comfortable drink. Yeah.
No, this is for our British friends out there. I'm drinking a nice English breakfast tea. It's too hot to sip. I can't do it. Anyway, so into the episode. How let's start with some wins, man. What's going on in your
wins? Cool. You go first.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. All right. Fine. To put me on the spot. Okay. One quick personal win. I just got to give a shout out to my friend Jake or Jacob, who just got married on the weekend. And it's like a part of my wins is that it was our first night off without the kids in a year since our anniversary last year at some point. And it was amazing. It was such a good night out, great friends, made some new friends, all that sort of thing. And it was just wonderful to see them get married. It's really, really cool. So yeah, Jake, if you're listening, I'm going to send him this episode anyway, but congrats again to you and Tash. And the other thing for me is, so as some of you might know, I'm learning Korean because I've fallen in love with the language and just trying to do my best to learn it. And this week I took a big step. I enabled the Korean keyboard on my phone and was actually able to type someone's name into the chat, one of my friends over there. So that was very cool. It's a big win for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Say something in Korean then.
No. Not on the podcast.
Okay. Cool.
Thanks, man. Thanks for moving on.
Didn't see that one coming. Yeah.
I did.
I love those pictures of the wedding. Super elegantly dressed and stuff.
Nice save, buddy. Nice save. Yeah. It was a good shirt too. Yeah. It's a good shirt I was wearing. Anyway, your turn. What's your win then?
Well, your Korean does inspire me to go back on italki and maybe practice some French. But that's not a win yet because I haven't done it. But yeah, it's definitely on my mind. Now, the win for this week for me is picking YouTube back up on the Pybites YouTube channel and doing kind of a video a day on Python related topics. So we did a bit of PyGitHub, typing, all kinds of stuff, just random as things come up. And we keep the videos short, so typically 2 to 6 minutes, some go to 10 minutes, but not longer. And keep them bite-sized, because that's what we're all about. And always, some code-related, sharing screen, live coding stuff. And so far, people love it, so I'm happy to hear that. And we keep up the momentum, because we think it's important to keep sharing that content out, and not only for the community, but it's actually also very helpful for our clients and coaches as part of code reviewing and stuff. So
yeah,
pretty happy
nice,
about
man.
that.
Those are good. Those are fantastic. I really enjoy reviewing them when you send them. They're such fun little quick bite-sized nuggets of Python goodness. So I really like that. Just actually question for you before we dive into the episode. Do you ever get stuck while you're recording them?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And do people see that?
No, I edit them quite a bit. But if the mistakes are useful, I do leave some of that in. Cool. But for the sake of time, as I want them to be shorter, I have to kind of edit. But if we would allow ourselves to do a longer format as Code Clinic, then completely raw and leave all. Like this week on the Code Clinic, I got stuck on Django migration. Something really weird was happening. Turned out it was pointing to a wrong database, and that was a whole mess up for 5-10 minutes, but that was actually useful. But that's then a different format, a longer format,
Yeah. Okay. No, cool. I because the feedback is always from people. Oh, we love seeing Bob get stuck, because that's where we get a lot of learning. So, for those of you watching and listening, if you want to see more of Bob getting stuck, let us know so we can figure out a way for you to see that, because that's it's actually really interesting seeing how this champion over here troubleshoots and debugs things when they go wrong. It's actually
that's a good reminder. I appreciate it, because now you got me thinking, like, next time I cut something out, maybe I leave it in, and I'll leave it up to the reviewer or you to give it a go or not.
Cut it out.
Yeah,
too long. I don't have time for that.
No, but when you say like, "Oh, this is cool," leave it in, then you just leave it in. So
no, that's cool. I'm joking, man. Joking. I love it. Okay, so we'll dive into the episode now. This one is a touchy subject in a way, but we're going to try it. So a couple of weeks ago, for you regular listeners, we talked about the layoffs that have been happening in the tech industry, and more so not commentary on it, but more like, what can you do? What's in your power? What's in your control? And given that in the past week or two, there have been thousands of more layoffs announced across, Amazon and Meta, and I assume the rest of them, we thought we'd touch on something that we didn't mention last time. So if you're interested, I would say first listen to that last episode. We'll put it in the notes. I can't remember the number.
It's like 6 maybe, yeah. Oh, they could.
No, that was too old. Maybe it was 105 or something. I don't know. Whatever it was. But yeah, we'll put that in the notes for you. For this episode, we wanted to talk about going it alone and the fact that you shouldn't be. So it's not easy seeing people around you being made redundant. It's not easy finding out that your job has been made redundant and no longer exists, especially the way that these companies have handled it, which has been pretty crappy and pretty disgusting, as I said last time. But there's no need to go it alone. It's just like that Legend of Zelda thing. Here, take this. No need to go alone. Go it alone, or whatever it is. But the point is, people don't lean on the people around them as often as they should. It's very easy to compartmentalize and just say, no, everything's okay. And just try and swallow all of that stress and that pain and that frustration and the anger and the disappointment and the embarrassment and whatever feelings and emotions that you might have towards what's happening around you. It's really important to talk about it. It's really important to share it with those around you and to, again, lean on those people around you. So Bob, what's that rule? I always say this wrong. It's that rule about you are the people you spend the most time with.
Jim Rohn?
Yeah.
The average of the 5 people you hang out with the most? Something like that.
Yeah, that's the one. So actually, because I've just been yapping and I want a sip of this lovely tea, could you just explain what that means?
Sure. So basically, yeah, that I think the quote recognized, or Jim Rohn, or whoever said, I think it was Jim Rohn, that a big part of your life you spend with a relatively few number of people, right? And these people have a big influence on you, and that influence builds you, right? Defines partly who you are. Of course, you have your own core values and all that, but yeah, just a few people you hang out with the most. Could be your wife, spouse, kids, parents, best friends. They have a large influence on who you are, right? And on your thinking, perceptions. And I think you're saying that you can use that, leverage that in this tough situation, right?
Yep, exactly. That's exactly where I'm going. And so what I encourage everyone listening to do is not just, go and complain to the person next to you, right? Is think about who those people are for you. Who are those 5 people that have the most influence on you as a person and who you are? It may be I don't know, someone that you talk to every day during your commute to work. It could be at work, someone who's your work best friend, who is your longest childhood friend. It could be anyone, right? That you spend that most time with. And to identify this, think about the people who, when big life things happen to you, who do you go to first? So for me, obviously, other than my wife, it's Bob. The second anything happens, I mean, if I get a haircut, he hears about it, right? So I got a haircut last Thursday, Bob. It's pretty good.
And I just only now noticed it.
Yeah, he only noticed it just before this podcast recording. It's been a week. That's how terrible. I got to find another person. So that's the point, though, right? So whoever those 5 people are for you, really, really engage them when things are tough. And hopefully you already are doing that. But to add to that, there may be people that you spend time with that, say, aren't in those top 5. They aren't the closest people, but they at the very least understand what you're going through. And to that point, it's likely going to be people in your workplace. And hopefully you have people that you can talk to. Hopefully you're networking and building that environment around you there that you can, I guess, speak with people about these sorts of emotions and these things. Because if they're going through it with you, or at the least in the same environment as you, maybe their jobs haven't been let go, maybe you have, maybe vice versa. Maybe you're in different departments, whatever it happens to be, they're in the same trenches with you. And they can understand what you're going through. So leverage them, speak with them, and share, be open and honest and raw how you're feeling, because that's the only way that we're all going to get through it. And I know that sounds a bit cheesy, but it's the reality. If we just sit here and don't share how we're feeling, then everyone's just going to suffer in silence, right? So this is, again, going back to that whole this environment of the layoffs and return to office and all these things happening in these companies that are upsetting people. You need to talk about it, or it's just going to drive you up the wall. So, Bob, I'm going to move on to a concept here, but before I do that, is there anything you want to add?
No, that's perfect. Yeah. Please move on.
Well, then let me have this tea in silence. Hang on. It's going to be cold by the time this podcast is over. I want to have it while it's hot. So, all right. So two
really concepts. For the drink or to show the logo? No, just kidding.
It's for the mug. I want everyone to. I'm going to change hands so you can see the logo, the message on the back of the mug. So there's a concept here that I want you to think about, and it's so 2 people brought this to me in a week, which is why I've added it to this podcast. So one, thank you to Reese for sharing this concept with me. He shared the concept of the personal board. And also to another friend of mine, Jane Perry, for sharing the circle of advisors. So essentially very similar concepts. And what this is talking about is, who are those people that you would strategically go to for different things professionally and personally, right? So it's like having your, as I like that, this visualization from the term circle of advisors or personal board of directors in a way. Who are the people that you go to when you need advice on, say, I don't know, handle a promotion, or if you're handling a difficult situation at work, who would you talk to? If you're going through a tough time, who's going to be that person? And one of the techniques you can do is think about the people around you and almost rate them. There is a resource from the Harvard Business Review, which we'll put in the show notes. I've got that link, Bob. Again, thank you to Jane for sending me that. And there's a scorecard that they've given you that you can literally rate people and tick the boxes. This person is great for this support style, and they only want to be emailed. They don't like instant messenger. So you can figure this out. You don't have to get that granular, but the point is that you can build this sort of circle of advisors around you. And that way you have that comfort zone of knowing if things are tough in these different environments, with different things happening. Maybe because of the layoffs, your workload has raised and increased because of everything around you, teams being let go. So how do you deal with that? You might have someone who can help you manage that. So the idea is build up this circle of advisors, this personal board, so that you can have you know who to talk to in any given situation. And that might provide some level of comfort and guidance when things are pretty crappy, like they can be right now.
Right. So that's almost like having a board of specialists and just recognizing that you don't discuss everything with anybody, but there's just some people that are better at guiding you on certain things.
Yep. So for example, I might come to you for only Python because you are so freaking good at Python, right? But I may not trust you enough to talk to you about, say, the stresses I'm going through with my kids. Now, that's obviously not true because we talk about
that
everything,
example because we talk about everything, bro.
We talked about both of those things today. But that's that's what I mean, right? So yeah. So that's how it would work. And that way you don't have to think about, because it can be quite daunting back to that, who are those 5 people around you, trying to find 5 people who are like the perfect person to talk to about anything and everything, right? Mm-hmm. That's really difficult to find. So by making it kind of separate like this into their strengths areas, it can actually be pretty empowering. And it also, the article that we'll share sort of flips it on its head. Like this way, you kind of don't need a dedicated mentor because you have multiple mentors in these different skills areas. So it's an interesting one. Now, before we're keeping this pretty succinct, this episode, before we move into the wrap up, if you don't have people like this that you can think of, I just wanted to give you a couple of actionable steps. Do you mind if I go into those, Bob? I waited till you took a sip of water.
By all means.
Okay, so how do you find those people? Well, the simplistic thing is just go and talk to people at work, right? Join them in the lunchroom, but most of us are virtual, hopefully still, whatever, if we can manage it. So if that's happening, right, and you can't just walk up to someone and meet them, join some communities. Now, this is a bit of a plug for us, but join our Slack community. There's a couple of thousand people in there going through very similar things as you, and conversations are organic, they're respectful, and they're amazing. People have built lifelong connections through the community. So it doesn't even have to be ours, right? Obviously, I'm just going to mention ours, but join any community and find people to talk to through that. Another one for me is don't be afraid to connect with friends and past colleagues and even current colleagues on LinkedIn. Use that as a networking resource, and then ask people for a coffee chat. Most people won't be adverse to you asking for 15 minutes of their time just to get something off your chest, right? Or just to say hello and introduce yourself. It could even be kicking off that relationship, right? So if this person would be great for helping you manage how to write something, whatever, like a proposal or something like that, then try and get them for a 15-minute coffee on a coffee chat.
Yeah, 15 minutes is great. Like it's short time. We even do this ourselves, right? We made a new calendar, Pybites Chat, and we if people need career advice and help with their Python, we happily spend those 15 minutes. It's a short segment of time, and that's all you need to get the ball rolling, right, and get some momentum. So and again, it goes to shows like we're all remote mostly, but hopping on calls and doing some stuff face to face, might not be in person, but at least seeing each other adds a whole new dimension. I think that's also kind of relevant to highlight with the increased use of AI tools, that the human factor, right? It's it's important.
Yep, exactly. So if you can get them on a video call, even better. That'd be amazing. Especially it can help you connect with people a bit easier if you happen to have a kid run in or something like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, my kids do that all the time." There's instant rapport being built.
But I was reminded this morning. I met somebody on Zoom for 20 minutes about an upcoming podcast. It's going to be exciting. Not giving away the guest name yet, but and we connected and we had a wonderful chat and shared experiences, and it was awesome. I'm like, wow, just for 20 minutes, and I had a very insightful chat and a lot of energy that I showed up for work today after that call.
That's cool. It wasn't me, was it?
It was not you this time. Your messages were before that already. So yeah.
I'm kidding. But yeah, Nice. Well, thanks for letting me ramble this week, Bob. I appreciate it.
Well, I could chime in a few times, and last week you let me do the packaging one. So
there you go. There you go. I'll let you. It's not that, things didn't go well on my end and I couldn't make it.
No, I just took it.
No, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate you covering. So there you go. That's why you're like number 2 on my 5-person list. Number 1 because of course my partner is always going to be number 1. But yeah,
better be
default. She's number 0. You're number 1. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
from the P0 days when some microsystem right? It was a P0 server down.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. To wrap it up, books. What are you into?
Books. Biology or Vice, reading some more novels. It's relaxing. And still in fluent Python. Just bit by bit, And the essays from Montaigne. I do enjoy that. It's a bit of philosophy, an early passion for that. And it can be dense, but just little bits, and random advice. I like it. I don't do books for the completion anymore. I dropped that goal.
Yeah.
Just to learn,
Same. It does mean you have to invest in a lot of bookmarks.
I'm out of bookmarks. Can you send me? Maybe it should make Pybites bookmarks.
Pybites bookmark. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or you can just rip a piece of paper up.
Yeah. I'm at this point that I'm using the tickets from the pizzas as bookmarks. Yeah.
That's good. I like it. So just elaborate, because you mentioned fluent Python. You mentioned the essays from, who was the name? Montaigne. Okay. But you very quickly glossed over fiction. Are you actually reading fiction?
Yes.
What are you reading?
So I'm still on that a Dutch novel, which I'm basically repeating books I read 20 years ago.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I've read certain fiction books.
There's a certain energy with some of these books that I can still bring back. And that's all thanks to the journaling, by the way, where I got that idea from. Yeah. So, but mostly Dutch novels. Yeah.
Are they romance novels? You seem that kind of a sappy guy.
Elaborate on that.
Are they, or are they like sci-fi books or?
Oh, no, sci-fi. No, that's still something to be explored. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more like historic novels, a bit of philosophy in there. Yeah.
So everyone, this is accountability. I'm going to send through your book recommendations for Bob for fiction, please. We need to educate this man on some quality stuff. All right. So please send them through.
I got the Ender's Game on my Kindle, and I know
that's okay.
I need to get to those as well. Yeah.
Nice.
I did read The Martian, I think. Yeah, that was
okay. That's not bad. We're going to send you some classics and get you into.
Oh, yeah. That would be amazing. There's that other one. Was that Snow Crash?
Oh, that I don't know. Maybe I'm the heathen.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Let's send those in. That will be fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Not that I not have enough books to read already, but yeah.
Excellent. That took way longer than I thought to ask you that question. Sorry.
Well, now it's your turn.
All right. So actually, and here I am criticizing you about fiction. Well, because you all know I'm making my way through the Wizard of Earthsea quartet. I'm still on book 3. I'll share that I actually kicked off on Audible. That's why I'm looking at my phone, just bringing it up quickly. A Brief History of Time. So I was just happened to be going through my Audible library randomly and thought, what's something different I can read that's or listen to that's not self-help or something like that, mindset book. And I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about the Stephen Hawking book. So started playing it. Man, it is good. I'm enjoying it. It's very technical, even from an audiobook perspective. So I can only listen to it when I'm in the shower because I need that full focus. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting on the couch listening to it with my eyes closed, right? Because I need to be able to really picture what it is that they're saying and understand it. Very technical, but I love it. It's really good.
Yeah. But I think he does make it accessible, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. the way he draws the picture or paints the picture, the analogies and synergies to things is really, really intelligently done and well done. So I appreciate it. A simpleton in the art of physics and quantum. I'm just throwing out words from the Marvel universe now. Quantum dynamics. I don't know.
I think on a previous episode, I recommended his other book, more recent, Big Answers to Big Questions or something.
Okay.
And I flew through it. Not that it was easy, but it was really engaging. It was fascinating.
Yeah, I love this sort of stuff.
Yeah,
gives me hope.
We can nerd out on books.
We should stop rambling.
Hour, but we value your time.
Yes, thank you everyone for listening to this very haphazard ending to the episode. But yeah, back to the point of the episode. Get your circle of advisors together, your personal board, and we really wish everyone the best. We know it's not an easy time, and we certainly feel it. We see it a lot, and we're right there with you. And we hope the best for everyone, whatever your situation is. Try and adopt that growth mindset. Think about what it is you're gaining rather than what you're losing. That's the advice from a good friend of mine, Chantel Thomas. So thank you, Chantel, for that wisdom as well. But yeah, that's it from us. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week.
And if you have any comments or requests for future topics, then check out this episode on YouTube and comment there. And while on YouTube, go to our channel and give it a subscribe, because we have a lot of cool content coming.
Beautiful. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. We hope you enjoyed this episode. To hear more from us, go to Pybites/friends. That is pybit.es/friends, and receive a free gift just for being a friend of the show.
And to join our thriving Slack community of Python programmers, go to Pybites/community. That's pybit.es/community. We hope to see you there and catch you in the next episode.